This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big update to share with you. President Biden just made a big announcement. I'll play you the video clip of what he says, talking about how we are not in a recession, despite Republicans trying to label this as Joe Biden's recession. And the White House is changing the definition of a recession, which could be the reason why we're not in a recession. I'll give you all the details on that. Plus, with the new deal from Democrats, the big question is, are we going to get financial relief out of it? I'll play a video clip from Pramila Jayapal about that. $300 stimulus checks going out throughout the summer, plus a new $975 stimulus check going out, and I'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And I want to give a shout out to my daughter Bella's YouTube channel. If you like watching her tips of the days at the end of the videos in this, take a look at her video, her YouTube channel. I have a link down in the description below if you want to check that out. We got some more videos up there. So yeah, go support Bella's channel. Let's get into it. Gas prices are plummeting across the country. I guess this is some good news. Prices are going down, still pretty high though. It's not like that they were I guess like up to a year ago, but they're still pretty high. I guess that's some good news there. When it comes to President Biden though, Biden says US is not in a recession despite 2 consecutive quarters of shrinking economy. So basically, the technical definition of a recession was 2 negative GDP quarters. Before this second negative GDP quarter came out, that was the definition, but looks like the goalposts are moving a little bit. Take a look at what President Biden has to say about the economy.
I want to say 2 things about the GDP report we received this morning. First, it's important to start with what we know before this morning's report. Our job market remains historically strong. Our economy created more than 9 million jobs since I came to office, in no small part because the people on this stage. Our economy created more than 1 million jobs in the second quarter, the same period as today's GDP report covers. And our unemployment rate is 3.6%, near a record historic low. Secondly, households and businesses, the engines of our economy, continue to move forward. Now, there's no doubt we expect growth to be slower than last year and the rapid clip we had. But that's consistent with the transition to a stable, steady growth and lower inflation. There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. But if you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well. And yesterday's Fed chairman, the Fed chairman Powell made it clear that he doesn't think the U.S. economy is currently in a recession. He said, quote, "There are too many areas of where the economy is performing too well." He pointed to the labor market as an example.
So what do you think? Are we in a recession? What do you think about what President Biden said? Is he digging himself out of this hole? Let me know your thoughts. So Republicans rush to label economic slowdown as Joe Biden's recession. Republicans are quick to call it a recession as the administration points to brighter employment numbers. So basically what's going on here is technically we're in this recession, but Republicans are saying Biden and Democrats are responsible for a shrinking economy and they're only trying to make it worse. They're also saying there's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street among the pundits about whether we are in a recession, or actually that's what President Biden said. But yeah, so basically Republicans are saying, hey, we're in a recession. This is the definition of a recession, but President Biden and the White House are kind of changing what a recession is defined as. So even Wikipedia suspends the editing of recession page as Biden rejects claims. So basically, the definition of recession is sort of changing. A furious editing war broke out on Wikipedia page for recession after Biden administration played down figures showing the United States had entered an unofficial recession following 2 quarters of negative economic growth. The page is currently locked, so only established registered users can make changes with anyone else having to suggest edits for approval. So I guess maybe the Biden administration was trying to go to the Wikipedia page because a bunch of people are saying, hey, what is a recession? Are we in it? But if you change the definition of a recession, then we cannot be in a recession. Kind of smart and sort of unethical at that. Let me know your thoughts on that. So when it comes to the big package coming out, Biden also praises Manchin-Schumer agreement on climate, taxes, and prescription drug prices. So this is huge. So after that video clip I shared with you earlier about President Biden on the economy, he also goes on to talk about what's going on with this big package that was just introduced, the Inflation Reduction Act. Now the big question is, will the Democrats' New Deal provide financial relief? That's the big question. Originally, it had a bunch of stimulus provisions in it, robust, a little bit of something for everybody, but now at this point, it's just so reduced. They're just trying to get anything out. So lawmakers on the left have been negotiating for months to pass the new legislation. A tentative deal has been reached that could keep insurance premiums down. It could also offer incentives to purchase electric vehicles. So in terms of stimulus checks, not in this deal. Want to be straight up with you, keep it real, not lead you on, not sure what other people are saying or how they're stringing other people along, but there are no stimulus checks in this. There is some sort of provisions to help out that could save Americans money in certain categories, but no general stimulus checks. Take a look at what Pramila Jayapal has to say about it and how Americans could benefit from it.
Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington. She is the senior whip of the Democratic caucus, and she's the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. She also serves on the House Budget Committee. Congresswoman, thank you for being with us this morning. What do you think about this deal?
Good morning, Brianna. I think that this is a very, very major step forward if we can get it done, and I believe we can. I believe that there's a real deal here. Look, it's difficult because it's been a year of negotiations, one step forward, four steps back. But I think we are now very, very close. And every single one of the things that's in this bill is actually a major accomplishment, will help Americans bring costs down, will ensure that we're protecting the planet for our next generation, and will make sure that people's health care is covered instead of being cut off in the next, 30 days, essentially, when those subsidies expire from the American Rescue Plan. So this is a massive step forward, and I'm excited to see the next pieces of it, including the full text and the process going forward.
2 weeks ago, the narrative was so different, right? It was that Manchin had pulled one over on Schumer and any sort of deal was dead. And you have been hypercritical of Joe Manchin. You actually called him not a real Democrat at one point. Does this change your assessment?
Well, look, on Capitol Hill, things change all the time. And I found that to be successful, what you have to do is you have to roll with whatever comes your way. If we can get this done, it will be a massive step forward for the American people. And, and I think that's what we have to focus on. We have an opportunity now to make historic investments in climate, in healthcare, in prescription drug pricing. I mean, nothing we have ever done before has allowed Medicare to negotiate prescription drugs. So while there is a lot that was left on the cutting room floor, the reality is this would be a massive accomplishment and it would help the American people.
If you get this done, does that make Joe Manchin a real Democrat in your eyes?
Well, look, I worked with Joe Manchin many times over the last year. I still think that had we done this back in December, had we done the entirety of the president's agenda, we would be in better shape. But am I happy that Joe Manchin is at the table right now? Absolutely. Welcome in, Joe Manchin. Delighted to work with you to get this done. Let's get something done for the American people. People have been hurting for way too long. And I think that's the step that we are at now. Is let's move this forward. We have a lot of work we have to do. We need to show Democrats across this country that the Democratic Party can actually get stuff done when we have 50 Democrats in the Senate. And I think that's where we are right now. So I'm all about forward looking, Brianna. And hello, Joe Manchin. Happy to have you.
What are your thoughts on that? Should there be more stimulus provisions in this Inflation Reduction Act? Should there be some type of check, some type of incentive, some type of way to help out struggling Americans, those on SSI, SSDI, or any type of Social Security recipient? Should there be more help for those people and put in this Inflation Reduction Act? Let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes to other stimulus checks going out, Delaware to send out $300 relief rebate payments throughout the summer. So what's going on here? Delaware will continue sending out $300 relief checks to residents throughout the summer, a one-time direct payment to help people face higher prices at the pump. The state, which sent out the first round of checks in May, said there may be as many as 150,000 eligible residents still waiting for their money. So if you're in Delaware expecting that $300 check for singles, $600 checks for couples, looks like it's still going out throughout the summer. Also, 5 direct programs worth up to $975 available to thousands of Americans. So I'm just going to go over the latest 2 of these. Connecticut giving $250 child tax credits, which is capped at 3 kids, offering $750. And the deadline to apply is Sunday, July 31st. So just a couple of days away. Then Pennsylvania offers a property tax rent rebate program for eligible Pennsylvanians age 65 and older, widows and widowers age 50 and older, and disabled people over 18. The income limit is $35,000 a year for homeowners and $15,000 annually for renters. The maximum standard rebate is $650, but supplemental rebates for qualifying homeowners can boost rebates up to $975. So if you're in Pennsylvania, that's a pretty good program right there. But the $2,000 stimulus check in Pennsylvania is still on hold. That is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, hi guys, I didn't see you there. Guys, can I tell you tip of the day because you know, I'm still in South Carolina. I know it looks like in a different place, but let's get over it. Can I tell you the thing that you should really actually do when someone's hurt or you're hurt? You should really do something really good and help them out because they're hurt. You can't let a person hurt. Stay there. I know you guys would do such a great thing, even better than that. Like help them up or something. And you can too. So that's all the advice that I wanted to give to you today. And also this is my sister Kalea. Say hi. Hi. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time and support. Yesterday, I ran a little pickleball tournament with my friends, and it went pretty well. The only thing is it was super hot. It was we started at, I think, maybe like 5:30 or so, and it was like 92 degrees, full hot humidity, and so a lot of people needed a little more breaks. We had like 11 rounds, but it was a good time, fun times. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.